back to Kuma Reviews. This is CCSToys' Mortal Mind Lazengann. So, if you've watched the Gurren Lagann series, you'll know this mecha, be very familiar with it. He's one of the lead mechas in the series, and yeah, it's kind of that antithesis to Gurren Lagann. It's pretty cool. So, of course, you've got the figure here. Its tail does come separated, comes off here, just plugs in and out. And same with this end right there. So it all comes separated in the box. Alright. Comes with a throne, effect pieces, and these effect pieces actually, his drills come out of them. So we'll go over that as well. We'll go over all of the accessories here. A cover for his mouthpiece there. This is an attachment piece for more drills coming out of his backside. This is actually something that takes some of the details from out of his back, so you can plug these effect pieces into his back. And then we've got the stand, all the different angles and stuff like that. You have a flat piece, you have one that angles and things like that, a short I don't know, a short pole, a long pole, two forearm adapters for more drills. I think it's a total of 22, 23 drills or something like that. Two hands with drills coming out of them, as well as a normal variety of hands. And this piece here plugs into his knee for this effect piece there. So yeah, and as for the box, nothing special this time. A lot of times they'll do like shippers and then like nice artwork inside and things like that. This one pretty straightforward. So you got the box, you've got a cover here, and then it just goes right into just plastic clamshells and things like that, styrofoam and all that good stuff. So very plain, which is more than fine. It definitely gets the job done. This is nice sturdy cardboard, but just wanted to go over that because this will be one of my first galleries that doesn't have like really nice box art and stuff like that attached to a CCSToys piece. Alright, so again, there's everything, and of course it comes with the drills themselves. It's just there's too many of them and they're separated into pieces and stuff like that, so it just makes a mess out of things. But we'll definitely go over everything, how it attaches, cool poses, all of that stuff, as well as some comparisons and things like that. So let's get it going. All right, getting going on the figure itself. One thing that I forgot was that the horn comes detached as well in the box. So yeah, just plugs in. Plugs in straightforward, gotta find the right angle. Now, I've got him standing straight up to get an honest height on this guy. So what I've got is about 9¼ to the top of the head, but to the top of that horn in front, I've got about 10¼ All right. It is pretty long there. Give you guys a roundabout. Now, this is a die-cast figure. Die-cast is going to be in the frame. Parts you can see exposed. All that nice metal. The knees. Elbows. Pretty cool stuff. Really good finish to it. And I like that the finish on this guy varies. So, there are some parts that it's all, I would say, fairly shiny. But some parts are more matte and some parts are high gloss. Well, I'd say low gloss, high gloss, like that kind of thing. So it's really neat because it really makes the accent pieces pop, because even though this is a darker figure, the color separation on this is just marvelous. The paint applications, everything like that, it's perfection. And honestly, there's like no rub on this. Same with Gurren Lagann as well. So they do a really good job with their paint applications. Even more established companies like Signal, I really feel could learn in this regard, because yeah, this stuff is flawless in comparison to a lot of what these other big companies are doing. In fact, the only ones that I would really kind of put on this like guaranteed not gonna scratch stuff, whatever, is Bandai, because their SOC stuff, even though it's like high gloss, really good finish and stuff like that, you don't get that out of their products. Like, they know what they're doing, and so does CCSToys. So kudos to them. Now, this is something that I'm not gonna mess with, the mouth cover. It just plugs in. There are areas on the sides of the mouth there They're not very visible, but it lines up perfectly, and it stays in really well too. Now, the reason that I am just showing you that guys this now is because he loses. He still has the waist swivel, but he loses like his ab crunch and stuff like that, as he should, because that section is covered up. So, wanting to play and pose this guy and stuff like that in front of you guys, I'm showing it to you. All right, it's covered up. And waha. Can't even call it a reveal because we spoiled that. But it comes separately, so I want to show you how it comes out of the box. All right, now, articulation. The neck is, it at least has forward and back swing. I don't know if it's on a ball joint or not. I don't think so, because it doesn't have any rock at all, even though there's a little bit of room in there. Now, the head itself, ball joint, all of that good stuff. So I like that the neck goes up and down because it really adds that upward and downward movement, which he doesn't have a lot of from the ball joint itself. All right, shoulders, awesome butterfly there. Okay, even though the shoulder pads are small, they still move. You can get those out of the way, and they even have some front and back swing. All right, roundabout. Let's do the parallel. Get that out of the way. Really tight die cast joints, not scary tight, but good firm. All right. And with that up and down butterfly, and I love that it has that armor piece there. You can see that. I love when you move things or whatever and they're covered. It's a beautiful thing. So, bicep swivel. Okay. Put that back. Elbow bend. Elbow definitely double jointed. Boom, boom. Also, nice, tight, firm. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the forearm does swivel. Because there's a different top of the forearm attachment for drills to come out of, this actually separates, and that's part of why, because this is able to actually come off. All right. And boom. Wrist. There's a ball joint actually on this side. The hands just slot in on the peg like so, but there's rock all ways with that. And then this itself can rock back and forth. Okay. Moving on to the waist. He actually does have good side-to-side rock up top, which is really cool. All right. Well, let's look at the back bend. He goes back in both the upper and lower part. Nice detailing in the mouth there. And notice, like, the gum show and stuff like that, but when you crunch down, it actually covers up, which is awesome. So, back bend, ab crunch, all right? Maybe I lied. I think it is all in the top, okay? Because I'm trying to move it now, and no, nothing out of the bottom part of the torso there. He does have legitimate waist swivel though, which is good. Not a full 360, but it's okay. Plenty of side movement there. And when I say legit waist swivel, sometimes when a lot of the movements in the upper part of that torso, they leave all of the swivel and stuff like that up there, and it just doesn't look natural when you're turning something at the chest. It's just odd. Now, the skirts. So, boom, boom. Those move outwards. These can also move upwards. The back itself, it's not in the way in the first place, so not really an issue. This can actually, has a lever, slides up, down, and it's on a ball joint there, so it can actually move around and stuff. So plenty of movement there. Not really the most natural thing. Now, there isn't any swing or lever in the hips to move them up and down. So what you got is what you got. So forward, backwards, and you can bring it out a little bit to kick even farther backwards. Sideways, and this piece that just came off is actually a magnet. So we're gonna pop that back. There we go. Sideways, full 360, thigh swivel, And did you notice that? That thigh plate moves for the double knee bend. Really cool. Okay. Let's take a look at the feet. Okay. That ankle tilt, really good. And then backwards, forward. Let's see if there's any separate movement in the foot itself. Nope. And good balance on this figure too. Tight joints on the upper. I wish that these thigh joints were a bit more tight, particularly on the outward swing. They're not loose, but they just don't have that like really good, really firm feeling of these joints on like the shoulders, elbows, etc. So just for the sake of getting them into a more anime, heroic stance, like that kind of thing. And we'll have plenty of, you know, advanced poses and stuff like that in the gallery, but yeah. We probably should go ahead and look at the articulation in the tail. No side to side, but up and down, and then up and down. And you can twist all of these different parts too. And not a lot of up and down in the last bend there, that top part, but it's okay. But it's nice because if you want it more close up, you can have it. If you want it far away, you can have it, like that kind of thing. Like I said, I do wish that, well, maybe, yes, I've got to, let me make sure I've got the tail pointing in the right direction here. I'm going to actually look at the instructions real quick. Yep, I had the tail pointing in the wrong direction, the tip of it or whatever, so it does have more articulation than I thought it did. So boom. All right. Boom, boom. I think that about covers the articulation. And before we move on, start deep diving into those accessories, here's a shot of it next to Gurren Lagann. He is full drill eyes right here, but if you don't own this figure, haven't watched the review on that yet, which you can on this channel, full article and gallery on kumastyle.com, all that good stuff. All of these are magnetized, and they're actually really good magnets too. So yeah, I remember I was fumbling with them because I haven't played with this for a while until I started shooting pictures of these two together or whatever. And like I would move it and some of the drills would come off, but they go right back in place. Like it's really, really well done. It's just for a company that's not as big, not as known, you don't expect this kind of quality. But just look at them together. I mean, they're beautiful. They are beautiful freaking figures and fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the accessories, I'm just going to show you how it all works, and then you could see it put together in shots and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit here for 10 minutes and just piece drills together and stuff like that, because the instructions work you through a lot of that stuff really well. But start with the stand. The stand comes with two pieces. You could either just have the flat base, where the pole just goes straight up and down, or this one where, of course, you could do straight up and down, or you can angle it like it is now. So the way that this works is this piece, you kind of turn it so that it slots out the right way, and then you just push it. Now the instructions tell you to push it all the way out, but personally, I've noticed that once you push it so far, you can maneuver this thing without disconnecting it, so that's what I would recommend. Why go through all the effort? But I mean, yeah. It's almost like a ratchet where it has like little spaces that catch, so you can't just put it exactly where you want, but it's pretty free in terms of the options and stuff like that. So can't go backwards, but different ways forward, okay? So for now, we'll just put it straight up. And I mean, why wouldn't you choose this since you have the option of not only straight up and down, but all ways? But I guess this does look a little bit more clean on the stand too. Now the way that you lock this piece in place is that there's this piece on the bottom. You just kind of find where it catches. And then once you do, you're able to twist it in place. Okay? So now that we've got that on, we just use either the long pole or the short pole. They hold in with friction. And then each of these different adapters, they actually angle in different directions. So there's that one, and they catch up top so that you can't slide it all the way down or anything like that. That's why they have the two different pole sizes or whatever. But if you look here, that one's pointed a little bit more forward. Then there's this one that's actually pointed backwards. Okay? There we go. So we'll do the short one real quick. And just to show you real quick how he sets on here, this taint piece on the bottom, that piece that came out a little bit earlier in the review, magnet piece, just pops out. And then there's a different adapter that pops on. Boom. Okay. Up. Make sure I've got it on the right direction. Okay. Perfect. And then with whatever one you got, I don't know why I took one of these off. It just pegs on, so. And just an FYI, it pegs on fairly easy, but in my experience, it's kind of hard to take off, so be careful when you're pulling it off. Make sure you got the right direction, this, that, and the other. So, yeah. And then I will take this, push this out, some more. There we go. But just something basic so you can see how it works. Really kick that leg out. That's how the stand works. Okay, so now for the fun part. Here are all of the drills. So you're going to get a bunch of the longer pointy drill ends and then these angled pieces that they attach into. Okay? I'm not going to go through 100% of this because the instructions actually lay it out really, really well. So even though a lot of them look similar, they all have like different shapes. So this one has like 1 angle, 2 angle, right? Shape like that. This one pretty much just has the 1 angle. This one, 1 angle, but really small, right? So the instructions, they kind of lay them out like A, B, C, D and tell you exactly where they go on the figure. Now, getting some of this stuff out of the way, what I am going to do is show you guys the basics of how it all goes together. So you have those 2 ground pieces and he actually steps into these. They have like slide resistant parts on the bottom, which is cool. Really forward thinking. And I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the correct piece into here. So these are the ones that really aren't angled at all. So I'm just going to do 1. So this has 3. Each foot has 3. So you've got that piece, and then you just find one of the ones that goes into it. So, boom. That looked like it was a smaller hole. Maybe it wasn't. Let's try with another one. And believe it or not, I have done this before, folks. Oh, okay. It's a larger hole size than I thought. So not quite that big, but... And it is trial and error too. That's why I'm not doing 100% of these for you guys. Okay. And I finally found one of the ones that fits, but again, 3 of those, forward facing, and he'll end up stepping into these. Okay? Okay. In his knees, you have the options of one of those guys, regular drill, or that effect piece that I showed you guys. Go ahead and place on this really small drill here. I don't know why this is 2 separate pieces. It's so odd, but then you just put this over it. Really makes no sense if that's 2 pieces, but yeah. Okay. So for this one, there's an adapter. I already took out that little tank piece there, but that adapter piece that I showed you guys at the beginning, there's a groove in there that slides, and then you just take that piece, if I can find the right spot for it, and put it right back on. Alright, let's brighten this up some. Let's see, boom, boom. I think you guys should be able to see it there. But then, from there, you can actually plug pieces in, and then they go around. And since we're on his back side, I'm going to show you the other ones from his back, how they attach. So that little piece that I told you takes out, detailing on his back, is this guy. And it's hard to see in the hole, but it's actually not a perfect circle. There are 2 little kind of lines that come out of the sides of it. So this slides in there, and you could turn it, and then just pull that piece out. Okay? And from there, make sure that I'm focused. Take the appropriate back piece, slide it in there, and you can see it has 1, 2, and there's actually a third one, 1, 2, 3, for 3 more drill pieces to go in just like right here. Alright, and the last ones that go in are the ones that go on the arms and the hands. So, forearm piece, well, slide that off, and then that upper forearm, take that off. Alright, you find one of the new forearm pieces, and there's a part that's like more shallow, the indent, that's the front. Alright, so slide that up, boom, boom, okay? And from there are ones, these are actual pegs. So those are female ends, and they're the only pegged drills in here, if I can find one. And they're not perfectly round, there's a flat part, so you just kind of spin it around until you find the right way, and boom, okay? And there's one on the inside, one on the outside. And then, pull the hands off. Wrong hand. And then, of course, the hands that have the drills attached to them. Just slide it in appropriately. Okay, and really quick, here's that drill knee attachment. Really cool stuff. I'll move this over because I know my logos are over on this side of the screen. Basic pose. Slight angle on the stand itself. Zoom out a bit so you guys can see his tail. Maybe if I go like that a bit. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot. And that's what a great sculpt can do. It's just imposing, you know? Basic pose, but just good. Alright, and here he is on his throne. The throne itself is okay. It seems like a styrene more than like a really hard ABS plastic, which is fine. I mean, it gets the job done. Really light. You'll notice some clips back here. I thought maybe that was for his tail to go through, but it's still flat in the back, just for whatever reason. A specific part of his design comes through, but it's still blocked off. But pretty basic pose here. I mean, it's what it is. It's not anything that I display him on, so I don't really know why it came with it, but it's something. Alright, and here it is with all of the drills attached. I'm not gonna lie, it's something else. Get that tail up. Can't believe these joints are actually that tight. It's a good thing. Just crazy, and like we went over, you can position them however you want. Most of them turn, and then the drills themselves can be angled however. It's neat. And it's really well implemented too. Okay, and to finish this off, CCSToys, Lazengann. Here he is with their Gurren Lagann. Make sure all my lights are on there. So yeah, but here he is, Gurren Lagann, full drillized. And I think this is kind of what people were getting this for if they got him. I don't see Lazengann being one that people would really get by itself without Gurren Lagann, but thankfully CCSToys is doing a reissue of Gurren Lagann. I know it's coming out pretty soon. I don't know if it's October, November of this year, 2022, but it should be coming soon. Definitely keep an eye out for that one. Pre-order it along with Lazengann. And yeah, quality products. If you have already had CCSToys' stuff, you know what to expect. Good amount of die cast throughout the frame. Really just thick, hefty feeling pieces. Lots of posability. The articulation on these things is fantastic. I've personally called this the spiritual successor to the Super Robot Jigoken line, in that they don't transform or anything like that, but they're highly articulated, lots of die cast, and they are just pretty on display. The nice part about these ones compared to some of their other releases, like say their recent Shin Getter, these ones they just have that fit and finish, like that nice polished, smooth finish to their plastic and stuff like that, where some of their other products are more matte. I think this will appeal to a wider variety of collectors who do things like the Pose Plus, Solo Jigoken, etc., and have displays that really have those paints and finishes that pop. So yeah, definitely worthwhile. The only thing that I wish this came with was maybe an alternate expression, like a alternate faceplate. But outside of that, dude, this thing is killer. Order yours today at TF Source. Link will be in the description. Tell me what you think in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Be well, be safe.